stage. So it's all downhill now, isn't it?
Right. On that note, welcome. This is our bit. My name's Katie. I'm from What's Cooking. Lynn on the camera, so everything that Howard does, up close and personal, do look towards the television screens.
Oh.
And to our left is the lovely Fiona, who looks after us. So if we do look towards that as if to think we've forgotten something, Fiona will sort us out. And that's it. That's the introductions. So what are you doing for us?
What I'm doing, was anybody here yesterday? Oh. You're going to see it all again.
Have you come back just to see if it gets any better?
Yeah, yes, yeah. We're making every effort, or I'm making every effort to make it better than yesterday. But I'm doing a winter Swiss roll. So in my book, which Katie kindly mentioned, Delicious Gluten-Free Baking, there's a summer Swiss roll, but there isn't a winter one. So I've revised the recipe, and actually by doing it in November, it sort of becomes a winter Swiss roll, doesn't it? So near enough anyway. So this is, a variation. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh.
Yesterday's wasn't quite so fantastic.
Hence why that gentleman, this lady in the front have come back again today.
To see whether it gets any better.
Good luck, lad. That's all I'll say.
Thank you.
Good
All
luck.
right.
Yeah.
Because I've only got one set of whisk beaters, I'm going to whisk my egg whites to begin with. So in the bowl here, I've got 3 egg whites, and I'm just whisking them, basically. So it's all going very well so far.
Yeah.
I have to say, as I said yesterday, there are times in my demonstration when there are bits that are a bit boring. And actually, most of it is really. But so all you're doing at the moment is watching me whisk egg whites, which is not exactly riveting TV. But Katie normally steps in at this point and gets the conversation flowing, don't you?
So if I didn't say anything.
If you didn't, it's like, well, I'm still whisking my egg white. They're getting a bit whiter.
Oh, jolly good.
They're getting a bit more whisked.
I mentioned 2013 Series 4.
Yes.
Yes. How? Just remind me. How many weeks did you go through? Because you were in quite a long time.
I was in quite a long time. Do you want the honest version, or do you want the fantasy version?
Well, it's Sunday, and
all right. I'll be
honest.
I was in 6 weeks, 6 out of 10. So that's not bad. It's not too bad.
Well, matter of interest then.
Yeah.
What's the fantasy version?
What's the fantasy version? The fantasy version is any version where people, usually at railway stations, to be perfectly honest, stop me and say, has your life changed since you won?
Oh.
And it's like, I don't think you watched it, did you?
But there was a lady recently, wasn't there, you said?
Oh, there's a lady recently who said, because obviously you do get a bit used to people recognising you and so on. And a lady said recently, do you know I'm a big fan of the Bake Off? And I can't remember you at all. So that was a bit of a downer.
Yeah, bless.
It's like sometimes when our series was on, and obviously, as I say, you get used to people stopping you in the street and say, excuse me, can I just have a photo? And you say, of course you can, yeah, no problem at all. And there was one particular occasion where I'd been through city centre in Sheffield, where I'm from, and I was walking up, and there'd been quite a few people had stopped me and wanted photographs and what have you. And then I got to the top of West Street. Not that you need to know whereabouts it was, really. And this person said, excuse me. And I turned around and said, yes. And they said, can you tell me where Victoria Street is, please? So you sort of get used to that. Is this whipped enough?
Oh,
yes. Right.
Yes.
So we've got egg whites whisked. And in the egg yolks, I should have said why I'd done this beforehand, shouldn't I, about egg separation. Yeah. Because organisers tend to say that the audience gets a little bit too lively if I do live and uncensored egg separation. So we keep you calm by doing it in advance, so you don't have to witness this.
And also, it adds to it because there's a carpet on the floor, you see. Normally, we're in the field with grass, and you sort
Oh,
of get away.
yeah.
But with it being uncensored, you have to be a bit careful with the
No,
carpet.
we do. Yeah, we don't want you
No.
falling loosely into the aisles. What else have I got to go in here? I think I need about half a teaspoon of vanilla paste.
Which glasses have you got on, love?
I've got my. Oh yes, there's an amusing story. It's the only one of the day, and the fact that I have two sets of glasses. So at the moment, I've got the ones so I can see all your lovely smiling faces out there, but everything here is a bit of a blur. So if anybody is kind enough to want to buy a book and want it signing, I shall change my glasses before we get to that.
Have you got your other glasses with you, though?
I haven't got them.
Oh.
They're in my bag down there.
All right.
Yeah.
'Cause we normally have them, don't we, just to check with the
Just
recipe?
to check. Well, yesterday we tried to do some more detailed work on stage, didn't we? That didn't go down very well. It's bad enough trying to get vanilla paste in here, isn't it? Am I being a bit too fussy about how much is going in here? I think I am. Okay, so we've got vanilla bean paste and we've got golden caster sugar. In the book, the summer Swiss roll has white caster sugar. To vary it, to make it into a winter Swiss roll, I'm using golden caster sugar. Actually, it's because it's what I got in it. That's all. So yeah, whisk that up a bit. It will go a little bit sandy to begin with, but if you keep whisking, it'll be absolutely fine. So this is now, we've moved from whisking egg whites to whisking egg yolks. The variation is just astounding, isn't it?
So, normal Sunday morning then,
Yeah.
in the Howard Middleton household, would it have involved a run?
Oh, it might have involved a run, yeah.
He runs, don't you?
I do run, yes. Anybody who saw Bake Off or seen Bake Off will know that there is a thing called the backstory, where they show you kind of taking cakes into work and all sorts of things like that. And they showed me running. Well, they called it, I can still hear Sue Perkins say, Howard is a keen jogger. And it's like, I don't jog,
No.
I run. I'm a runner. I run not very fast, but I don't class myself as a jogger. But, the first time I saw that on TV, and you think, my goodness, why do I run like that? I've got feet go up at the sides. It's dreadful. And I admitted myself, I looked like the kind of love child of Penelope Pitstop and Charles Hawtrey. It was absolutely dreadful. And then people commented, obviously it went, what they call viral. It was viral, doesn't it? And people saw this image of me running. And if you Google it on YouTube or whatever, there's one version where I'm running to the soundtrack, the theme music from Baywatch in slow motion. It's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
But you still run.
I still do
run. And if
run.
anybody spots you running, there was a bit of an incident not long ago.
It wasn't an incident.
It was an
as such.
incident.
No, somebody had put on Twitter. It's a year or so ago now, so it's. I think they've got over the side, but they said saw Howard out running, very tight shorts, right? Mm-hmm. And these were these new shorts that I'd got, and I didn't realise that they're what's called a base layer. You're supposed to wear something else over the top. So
Howard went out running in his pants, didn't you, darling? In your jocks.
But I have bought another pair of shorts to wear over the top of them now. So I'm sparing anybody's bulging blushes or whatever. Right, we've got here, this is Sunday, isn't it? I've got these all labelled, Sunday, Saturday. 25 grams of chestnut flour. So this is slightly unusual, isn't it? So I think this is not in the summer Swiss roll version. It gives it a nice kind of slightly festive flavour. It's got tastes like chestnuts basically. What would you expect? And it's obviously a gluten-free one. Because we're doing, did I mention it's a gluten-free recipe? That's all right then. All right, I haven't mentioned. It's a gluten-free recipe, yeah. So we've got 25 grams of chestnut flour, and I'm also adding 15 grams of cocoa powder and 10 grams of corn flour. And I've put these in the same bag just to save getting an extra bag, actually. Aren't I mean, honestly? Right, we're just going to give that a little bit of a mix. Yes. Have we got a spoon? Oh, shall I?
Don't that one. Oh, that one.
That one. Mm-hmm. I'm not too specific. Now, the thing about when you add cocoa powder to anything, when you're doing a cake or anything like that, as you'll see, it can be a bit on the dry side. So, if you replace flour or anything with cocoa powder, quite often what you'll need to do is add a little bit more moisture. So I've got here some fat-free yogurt, because we're basically, until I slather it with whipped cream at some point, we're keeping this as almost a kind of fat-free, fatless sponge. So I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons of yogurt. You can use milk or anything like that, just to moisten it a little bit. I think that's okay.
So your life has changed, though, hasn't it? Because you no longer work at Sheffield Council.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I kept working up until last year. And then we had the opportunity of taking voluntary redundancy. So I did. And now, unbelievably, I do stuff like this all the time. It's like amazing. Well, not stuff like this all the time. Sometimes I'll do a summer Swiss roll. if it's summer. No, I can do carrot cakes and all sorts. I'm very versatile. Don't do the same demo all the time. That's why yesterday's, I think, was slightly a bit awry, wasn't it? Because I'd never baked it on stage before. Whereas with a day's expertise, it's like slick and professional, isn't it now? Is it? Okay, I'm going to add to the mixture here. I'm just going to fold in the egg whites. And again, this is a slightly boring bit. That's all I'm going to be doing. Why don't I choose?
Talk us through a little bit about the process then, because it's a huge application form that you fill in.
Not this process.
Oh,
You're
no,
not bothered about that. Well, yeah.
Well, huge application form.
It is,
which you did. You went through, and then just before the last hurdle is a psychological exam.
Yes, you have to have an appointment with a psychologist to make sure that you can cope with basically the potential of being a bit famous. And my partner Peter, who's on kind of bouncer duty, it looks like today, he said, well, that's the bit you're going to fail on, which was lovely. Do you know, my family are terribly supportive. My sister said, I think you'll be the reserve, but I don't think they'll actually put you in the tent. But they did. They were daft enough to do that. So, but the psychologist sort of asks you certain questions. So she said, and we did decide she probably was a real psychologist. I know you doubted. Yeah. Might have been a stunt psychologist. But she said, how will you cope if you're out shopping or in a restaurant or whatever, and people recognise you, they say, can I have a photo or whatever? And I thought, well, that'll be fine. Of course, I'm a fairly amenable person. And she said, and how will you cope if nobody ever recognises you? It's like, well, that's what life's like now, so why would that be any different?
Well, you've been stopped in aisles, haven't you, in supermarkets?
Not that occasion. I thought...
What?
I thought you were talking about... Oh, no. Yeah. I wasn't shoplifting. No, I've been stopped several times. I was stopped once in Tesco. I remember once in Tesco, and again I'd been out running, right? So I didn't look my best. I had not got my glasses on, and I was all sweaty and what have you.
Were you still in your pants, or have you got something
No,
on?
I'd got shorts on, and this woman said, "Oh," she said. I'm such a big Bake Off fan. She said, can I have a photo? And I said, yeah, of course you can. She said, it's Kevin, isn't it? I thought, well, I don't even remember Kevin on Bake Off. It's certainly not me. But a woman in Waitrose, slightly more upmarket than Tesco, she remembered the kind of custard incident, the trifle, and she said, would you mind if you signed this packet of trifle sponges? So I said, no, of course not. I mean, she'd not even paid for them at that point, so she had to put them through the... But yeah, so I signed this packet of trifle sponges for her. I've signed some very odd things, actually.
Have you?
Yeah. A woman said, my grandchildren are very big Bake Off fans. Would you dedicate these two... they were like, miniature petit four cases, like mini muffin cases. Would you dedicate these to my grandchildren? Well, it's like I could hardly make a mark on them, let alone get the names on. But as you can see, I've now moved on. So I've folded in the egg white, and all I'm doing now is spreading this out. Have I got everything in here? I think so. Do you know what I don't think I put in? I don't think I put any baking powder in, did I? Did I put any baking powder? So anyway, this has got...
How do you see through these glasses?
We're probably not going to bake this, are we? What a waste.
Did you put the corn flour in?
Yes, it was mixed in with the...
So it's just the thing?
Yeah, well, anyway... It's got half a teaspoon of baking powder in this as well. And as you can see, it has no lumps whatsoever of meringue peeking through. And we spread that out. If I'm not baking it, I'm not making that much effort, actually. Pop this into the oven.
Oh, it's hot, isn't it?
It is hot, that oven. And if we can I just pop these, Fiona, can I give you those to just tidy up a bit? Thank you. Because now, what we're going to do, while that's in the oven.
What temperature?
It's in the oven at 180 conventional. I cannot be a conventional baker. It's ridiculous. 180 conventional, 160 fan, that's about gas 4. Right. Doesn't it sound sometimes if I know what I'm talking about? Amazing. Right. Are we going to do a robin? Have we got time to make a robin?
Yes.
Yes. We didn't have time to make a robin that's going to sit on top yet.
What? No. Rephrase that, because you've got a couple of people in the audience who witnessed that you did have
I
time.
did have time to make a robin. I didn't have time to do anything else. But today I've got this wonderful professional thing, and I've done this myself, right? Just to show you the process, right? So all you do is take a lump of white fondant, roll it into a ball like that. You want a little bit of brown fondant. This is called teddy bear brown, but any colour will do. Well, not any colour. It needs to be a sort of brownish colour. And then I've rolled out, can you see these all right? Is that all right? I've rolled out a little shape that's a bit like a kind of teardrop. Yep. We cut that partly up there, and that becomes the robin's wings. And then pop that on. Oops. Oh, I'm shaking already with this. This is making me nervous. Shouldn't have had all that red wine last night. Pop that on there like that. And then we get another one which is a sort of triangle shape, and that goes in between. So you end up with it looking like that. Okay. Then what do we want? We want a little bit of red dusting powder.
Now, when you're doing your bakes in the tent, not
Yeah.
the technical ones, because I know you really don't know what that is going to be.
No,
but all the
no.
others you do, because you have to submit all the recipes, don't you, for all
Yeah.
the bakes?
Yeah.
What stage during the period of time will you see Paul and Mary? Or once they've gone away into the little area at the back, do they stay there?
Yeah, they do, for most of the kind of signature bakes and the showstoppers, they'll do a thing called the Royal Tour, where they come out and they walk around your workstations and they'll have a chat. What are you doing today, Howard? And so on. Well, they only do that if you're actually called Howard. They, they don't call everybody Howard. So, and that was a daft thing to say, wasn't it? But then it literally, when it's the technical challenge, they literally do go out of the tent and you don't see them. So whether they do go and have the samba classes or whatever, who knows?
Game of darts.
Yeah, apparently somebody said that they watch box sets, but yeah, I don't know how true that is. Put a bit of red edible dusting powder on like that. Then what you want to do is you want to cut a little chip of chocolate. Just cut a little sharp chip of chocolate. Oh, choose which one looks like a beak. Shove that in. Shove that in. And you want a blob of chocolate for its eyes. And he ends up looking like that. You see.
Yeah.
Turn it round. Is that better like that? Has it got a good side? Gosh, what a picky Robin. Okay, let's get that. I should have said that Swiss roll wanted to be in the oven for about 12, 15 minutes, which miraculously it has been, hasn't it? Yeah, and it had baking powder in. I need a little bit of baking parchment. Okay, so we put a bit of baking parchment on here. And we want, what I would do, if you're taking it directly out of the oven, put a damp tea towel on your work surface underneath and then put that over the top, which helps to cool it. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think this one that we're taking out of the oven is very hot. So shake a little bit of caster sugar, golden caster sugar. It's very important you use golden caster sugar.
In the winter.
Yes, in the winter. And then, oh dear, it's got foil on the top. How did it manage that? And it's also got another layer of baking parchment. Okay. And then we tip the hot.
Careful.
Oh, that's hot. Do you know, I really ought to have an equity thing, didn't I? You know, for my acting ability. Okay. Oh, it shrunk. That's because I didn't quite fill the tin. Yes. I believe that. Now, what we've got here, we've got... how are we doing for time? Are we all right?
It gets dark about 4.
To say it.
But we'll break for toilets, won't we? We'll
yes,
do that,
well, it's quite handy actually. There is space there. Have we got another palette knife? Is there one? Fantastic. What I've done here is we've got some whipping cream, which unusually we've whipped, and we've actually mixed a little bit of chestnut spread in there, so chestnut puree or anything like that. And all I'm going to do is just spoon a little bit of this on and then spread it all over.
So we love Mary.
Yes.
We like Paul, Mel and Sue and all that.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the same when it moves?
Well, who knows? I mean, my line on this, because you have to come up with a line, is that everybody's bake-off experience is unique. And obviously mine was very unique. But my experience will always be Paul and Mary and Mel and Sue. But what I am more concerned about, I suppose, is that other bakers, other amateur bakers, get the opportunity to be on Bake Off. So it will be different, but it was always going to be different because it was going to be a unique experience for them. So I think the jury's out. Let's see what it's like before we make a decision, rather than thinking it's all doom and gloom. Sorry, that sounded a bit. That killed the conversation.
That has.
Yeah.
Let's think about your running pants again. That'll make us smile.
Will it? Actually, I think I might have put a bit too much cream on there. Do you think that's going to come out? It might be a bit too much. Does anybody want this to be non-alcoholic? No. Okay, that's so. What I've got here is I've got some black cherries that have been. These are bottled black cherries, and you can get them, and they're marinated in kirsch, so they've got a little bit of a kick to them. We've put the marinade in the back, and Fiona have you made a coffee with it? Yeah. Have you? Not yet. She was going to use the leftover kirsch to make herself a coffee. Oh. Yeah. Not that we're all kind of alcoholics behind here, but sometimes it helps. I'm not going to put all these on. God, I'll be here all day, won't I? And you can chop these up a little bit if you want. If you want to just get... but I think if we're doing it this way, is that the right way? We are going to get a cherry in each slice, aren't we, if we do that, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I'll put some of them on this side, so not to worry. And then all we do is we're going to roll this up. Now, because this is not, because this was cooled yesterday, it's going to crack a little bit. Whereas if you do it within a sort of shorter time, then it won't crack as much.
So ideally, just let it cool a bit then?
Yeah, I tell you what I haven't brought out. I don't think I've brought that wooden board. I've had to shift it onto. Do you know where it is?
Fiona's gone to have a look.
Has she gone to? Oh, we could put it on something else if you want, but it doesn't really matter. The other thing I would do as well, when you are decorating anything like this, once you've got it onto the board that you're wanting to decorate it on, use a bit of tin foil around the edge so that you mask it off. Use some sheets of tin foil, and then once you've done all... Oh, brilliant, thank you. This is the point at which the professionalism goes out the window, isn't it? Oh, come on.
Do you want us to look away?
No, well, I don't think anybody's watching, are they? Fortunately. There we go. Mm-hmm. That's not too bad, is it? No. All right, I know you can see a bit of cream down the bottom, but don't worry too much about it. Okay. Can we get some of this chocolate into a piping bag, if I do that? Do you think that's still a bit warm? Or?
I'll just put it back on.
Have you?
Mm.
That's all right, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Is this hot? Is it hot? Well, yes, let's take that off. Can I just move that a little bit nearer? Get a tea cloth. Right. This is exciting, isn't it? It's really exciting. Okay, so sorry. So all I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll shake a bit of cocoa powder on while we're just waiting for anything else exciting to happen. So all I've got here is a little bit of cocoa powder, and I'm just going to dust the top of that. As I say, if you're wanting to do this professionally, just get somebody else to do it, basically. You're not looking for professionalism with me.
Can you see what you're doing, though? Because you said you're not really...
I'm sort of doing it by instinct. I don't know whether this is... It sort of feels like it's in the right area. It looks nice. Well, with these glasses on, it looks all right. Anyway. Right, thank you. So I just want to... Have I already taken the bag out? No, I don't think so, have I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. Do you know, I'm so glad somebody's watching. Right. And I just want to put a bit of this in here and hope it's not going to melt the bag. It's a bit runny, isn't it? That?
It's melted chocolate.
It is melted chocolate, isn't it? Okay.
Should it not be as runny?
I don't think it really matters. It should have had baking powder in the sponge as well. But we're past caring now. Oh, it's a bit warm. Now, stand back.
Oh.
It's just a little tip to get it to the bottom if you whack it like that. And we are out of time. Oh, this is a bit I can't really do with me. These glasses on. Have I not taken anything off? Well, I know I'm still fully dressed, but have I got anything? There's nothing coming out. It's not coming out.
Do you want the other glasses on for this bit?
No.
Oh.
It adds to the excitement if I can't see what I'm doing.
Yes. It's
Oh,
out.
there we go. Yeah. And all you do is just, you want to put some little bits of chocolate down here, like that. So we're giving it a slightly barky texture. What you'll find as well is if you've had a drink the night before, you can't really get a straight line. But that's fine, because that's the effect that you want. So I would certainly try and do it. And the other thing you'll notice is as you go down the sides, gravity starts to pull it. And again, that's exactly the effect that you want. So... It's rustic. It's what Mary calls informal. Ups to days.
It's like you're having an ECG.
And now we want a little bit of icing sugar, don't we? Let's put a little bit of icing sugar.
So will you be serving this on Christmas Day?
No, it's not going to last till then, is it? I don't... God, I'm not taking this back to Sheffield. No, we can have, anybody who wants a bit can have a little bit of this, can't they? Well, I know you probably don't want any.
Okay, so we're not going to be doing that one.
Yeah.
What will we be doing on Christmas Day? What will you be tucking into?
I will do a fruit cake and I do a thing called Christmas in Bakewell, which is quite nice as well, which is like a kind of mince pie, but it's got a kind of Bakewell topping. And it's a cranberry and cherry and berries mincemeat. So that's quite nice. Skewer. Have we got a wooden skewer? I thought I'd come out with a wooden skewer.
I haven't got a wooden skewer.
You haven't got a wooden skewer?
No.
Anyway, if you've got a wooden skewer, you stick your wooden skewer in. And you pop that on top. And that's it, basically.
Ladies and
we did it!
Howard Middleton. I'm taking this. This is, I think, probably the best one you've ever done, H. So this is it. I'm going to take it.
I've only made one yesterday and today.
No, demo, love. Prosperity. Prosperity. Now, your book is available.
Book is available. It's not got this recipe in it, but if you were paying attention, it's more or less the summer Swiss roll. Normally retails for £16.99. What I normally do is sell it for £15 or 2 for £25. But people get clever and they just team up with whoever's behind them. So you get it for £12.50, don't you? So basically, it's £12.50.
All right, then. So what we'll do, we'll take your sound off, put him at the front there. We'll cut up the Swiss roll. I'm not sure if everyone's going to have a piece, but we'll do our best. We'll cut it into small pieces. But Howard will come to the front, and you don't have to buy a book if you want to come and chat to him. Please don't. A programme you might want to sign or a picture. The only thing we don't do with signing is he doesn't sign body parts anymore.
No.
That was something we stopped 2 years ago, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, at its peak. No. So no body parts, but any programme, please do.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks ever so much, Howard. He'll be back at 3 doing something totally different.
Yes, and it's sticky figgy puddings at 3 o'clock. So yeah, come along for a bit of that if you want.
All right. But coming up next on our stage will be Carmela, Serena Hayeswood, going to talk pasta. So all with the festive theme. So thanks for your company, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
We'll see you again at 1 o'clock.